6 years ago, to the date of this very weekend just past, I recorded the following thoughts and images, and I just wanted to share them again. I very rarely dwell on my old content, and when I do, I make sure it's for a reason. I had a Facebook memory that reminded me of the content that's about to follow, and I listened to it, and its raw honesty made me cry. And I just wanted to share it again. Sometimes poetry is airy fairy. I'm not even sure what I'm going to share with you is poetry. It's just honest, raw feeling of things that I was thinking in the moment at that terrible point in my life. And there was an accumulative amount of imagery, albeit some quite abstract, that I found particularly sums up what and who I am. Now, I admit that I've been drinking alcohol when I recorded the following, but as with a lot of people, not always for the better, alcohol was a painfully powerful truth drug for me. Also made me tell a lot of terrible lies as well, I guess, but I always found a brutal honesty about what and who I was, and to some extent still am. But anyway, this is possibly the most honest outpouring of my thoughts and feelings that I've ever shared, and I can't believe 6 years have passed. I'm sure it makes a lot of you feel old as well when you hear that this time in my life that I shared with you all was that long ago. Anyway, take care of yourselves. God bless. Nothing but love.
The pointless walking, the endless what-ifs that plague your mind as you stride to nowhere and arrive back home with little or no purpose to be there. I say home, but what I really mean is the home of my elderly parents. I have no home. Well, not a home of bricks and mortar anyway, but I do have destinations all over the infinite and limitless universes of my own and other people's creations that I have no key to the doors of, as the doors are always open and relentlessly welcoming. Time is a truly terrible master when the pain of life visits us. We resist the darkness and wish our precious life away, as the future seems like it could be possibly painted with a rainbow, but the grey anaesthesia of the present rips our heart out, and at once we crave the past and its golden shards, and also the possibility of the future that may never come. The spiritual vampires will insist, live in the moment. No, you try living in a moment of pure hell and separation from that which makes your life worth living. Yeah, the moment is all we have, but when that moment is stark, barren, cold, dead and decaying, the moment is a reality you're going to instinctively resist. The stench of those moments makes the air impossible to breathe. Others may at that moment smell nothing more than love, peace and the blooms of pure joy and life, but in that identical moment in time and space you carelessly put your foot through the ribcage of a child's carcass left rotting in the sun for weeks on end. Such is the horror of the moment. Only the most graphic and vulgar thoughts consume your mind, yet the vampires insist that you are duty-bound to ignore the realities of what haunts your imagination. They demand it be resisted, and the beauty that eludes you must be forced into position, otherwise you are wasting your life. The aroma that greets you is that of a lemon-scented placebo paradise, and in an identical space I am plagued with the stench of the carcass. Looking deeply into those once beautiful and now sunken and vacant eyes has no beauty, and is a moment that I will curse until my death. Oh yeah, their vision is that selfish. They have the nerve to demand that the most deep-seated and primal of responses are something that we need to rise above. The concept of negativity is somehow an unnecessary luxury in this brief and fleeting life to these people. They ignore the fact that they spin out of control minds possessing two poles at the opposite ends of their psyche, and claim that it is souls who live in both light and dark are the ones who need to amend their ways. Are these the individuals that Swift wrote about? The ones having a relentless and endless war due to not being able to agree over which end of the egg that they should consume first in the morning? The absurdity of moving away from that starkest lake on the blackest of nights will result in a life where the sun might shine all the time, but that lake has all that you need, all that you require. A relentless darkness punctuated by billions of the smallest and now long dead sparkles. The darkness is the universe's greatest gift, a blank and black vista that goes on forever, but the respite of the stars is the only lesson that we ultimately need in this whisper of a life that we've all been gifted. A dark tapestry with what seems like overwhelmingly bright stars, because that's how it works. The light, the dark, the cold, the warm, the wet, the dry, the night, the day, the love and the hate. All of those realities are the dazzling stars in the blanket of night. To deny the beauty of death is to rape and murder life itself. A life without abject spiritual poverty in this brief earthly affair is the equivalent of being stillborn into this magical, beautiful and endless kingdom. You can conjure nothing, and you know of no alchemy. You bask in a null and void concept of permanent light as you bake your soul, your spirit and your skin in that inferno's cancerous grip. To be hungry and then full, to be sad and then cry, to be lost and then found, to be dead and then alive. The beauty of polar opposites in this infinity gives the slightest whisper of the universal breeze called life, and it affords it its true fucking worth. I thank God that I met you. I cry for the day the wind howled when I was told that you'd died. I fall to my knees when I think about us watching the pilgrims ascend that mountain as we drank and smoked in bed at that temporarily divorced from the world moment where you slept at night. To have travelled across steel and water with the sounds of God raining down on me, imagining the chorus in my heart was audible to all and that we could all be as one. Laying on my back and watching the heavens with you on that summer's night so many years ago. To you it was just stargazing with a friend, but to me I was looking into the infinite with the woman I then loved. Then there was looking out across that field as my childhood ended and asking, where are you? Who are you? Then there was you. Yeah, you. Two people in one. My light, my dark, my reason for being here. And to say farewell, I will borrow the tongue of a beautiful long dead man. One day they will consider how you went about your ways unnoticed amongst them, a still queen who was lost in the maze of this earthly affair. God bless.